Online now. Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. On behalf of Institute of Postgraduate Studies UiTM, I would like to welcome everybody to IPSis webinar series, Secret to GOT, Learn from the Best. It is such a great pleasure to see everyone and thank you for being here. Of course, as a research student, GOT is our target. Thus, IPSis is committed to provide us with strategies and way forward on how to get there. We have with us today two distinguished speakers that will do that for us. So pay close attention, everyone. We will begin the talk in a few minutes. Before we start, allow me to brief the housekeeping rules that the participants are required to adhere to. Please be reminded to always keep your phone silent and keep it away from microphone to avoid static and disruption during the webinar. You may or may not turn on your camera, but please turn it off when you must do something to avoid distraction. You will be muted during the sessions. If you have questions for the speakers, you may post your question in the question and answer box provided in the chat box. Also, attendance form will be provided 15 minutes before this webinar ends. You will be given a link for feedback and attendance. That will also be our database to send your e-certificate later. Now, is everybody ready to listen to the speakers? We will begin the session with our first speaker, technologist Dr. Muhammad Zulfikar bin Sadikan. Dr. Zulfikar is an assistant professor of pharmacology at Faculty of Medicine, Manipur University College, Malaysia. He holds a Doctor of Philosophy in Medicine from University Technology Mara UiTM Sungai Buloh, where he passed with minor correction, GOT, APC and AKCTC award. For you who do not know what AKCTC Awards means, it means Anugerah Kedoktoran Cemerlang Tuanku Chancellor, which is the highest award given by His Majesty Chancellor. This is only possible when you have GOT and APC award. APC is Anugerah Penyelidikan Cemerlang for having the PhD done within the minimum duration, which is 3 years. His career following his PhD is as stellar as the awards he has received. His deep interest in pharmacology has led him into focus and at the same time widen his research in ocular pharmacology and neuroscience. By doing this, he believed that he would provide better understanding to the community, inspire many people. He's passionate to educate people because he feels that teaching is a great way of keep learning. He also believed that combination of teaching and research is an effective way to grow the nation and transforming towards better quality of life. I'm sure his sharing will be very much inspiring as well. So with that, let's welcome Dr. Zulfikar to the virtual floor. Let's give him a virtual applause. Over to you, Dr. Zulfikar.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Moderator and Dr. Mas for inviting me. So I think I can share my PowerPoint slides right now. Is it?
Yes, please.
I hope everybody can see my slides.
Yes, I've transferred it to the screen.
Okay. So can I start?
Sure.
Okay, and thank you again for inviting me back to UiTM, even though it is an online webinar. So it's just around 6th or 7th month, I think, since I got my SNAT letter, and it's not really, you know, I am exposed well in the, career life, but of course, I'm here to share my own thoughts to share about how to, to share some tips and tricks to GOT. It is such an honor to be here again, and thank you so much for to share, for me to share some ideas. Of course, I know maybe some of you may be attending Viva session soon, and of course some of you may be the returning student for a new semester, because this is October, and some of you might just registered as a postgraduate student. So greeting to all of you again. And I am Muhammad Zulfikar Sadikan, from Manipal University. Previously, I am actually from Faculty of Medicine, Sungai Buloh campus. So without further ado, I can share my first slide. Is it moving? Okay, for declaration, this is for sharing session from my personal point of view. And I hope this is useful for everyone. And first of all, I want to share my story, my ups and downs for an academic scroll, which is my PhD. So it's all started from my high school journey. After my O-level, I entered College Marabanting for International Baccalaureate Diploma for 2 years. It is actually, it's like foundation studies, but it is for international pathway to abroad universities. But I followed my scholarship to pursue my study at Management and Science University for Bachelor of Medical Science for 3.5 years, from September until February 2018. And after that, I think around 3 or 4 months after that, I have been called for an interview for research assistant with my supervisor, my master supervisor, Dr. Nur Alima, from a social media platform. And at that time, I agreed to, to enroll as a research assistant first before registering as a master student. And I registered for my master first in September 2018. At that time, I still a research assistant. And 3.5 years after that, I received my SNAT letter for my PhD. And right now, I am in my career life. But I want to share the ups and downs during this journey. Frankly speaking, the toughest time is during my international baccalaureate diploma, where it's a very tough journey, where I have to push. There are a lot of requirements in IP, so and then I have to fight uh, uh, for better score at that time, and I just follow my scholarship to enter this medical school in MSU. In the middle of the journey, I plan to pursue my study. At that time, during my degree life, I actually want to pursue a neuroscience program. This is actually 1+3 integrated neuroscience program. 1+3 means master for 1 year and 3 years for PhD. But at that time, the registration should be like 6 or 9 months earlier, and I haven't got my transcript. So that was I just tried. I continue directly enter master at other higher education institution. Before I entered UiTM, I continued master at that place, and then I was unable to cope with that program, and I actually withdraw from the master program in May in April 2018, and then I look for other opportunity to be research assistant. I plan to for further my career pathway at that time. But luckily, my supervisor actually planned something else, not for research assistant only, but for postgraduate postgraduate program registration for few months after I became the research assistant. And during the research assistantship, I practice a lot on multiple things, and I learn new things because my degree is not really research. It's like most of them are theoretical medical science based. So unlike other other program or field of study like biomolecular, biomedical, they are well exposed in laboratory settings, but not like me. I have to adapt a lot of things for laboratory works, and after 1 year, I converted my master program into PhD. Don't worry, I will explain further in my next slide. So the long road to victory, there are a lot of story behind a successful journey. There are multiple roads that you are opt to choose. So, and of course, there are issues, problems that face during your journey. And some of them, like loneliness, loss of data, technical issue, most of the problem about technical issue, loss of focus. How about the lab progress? Is it progressing? The laboratory works. How about the paper rejection? And all that we have to do the submission and long waiting time. Problem with statistical analysis, technical errors, data errors, and also we have pandemic at that time during 2020, early 2020, that hit Malaysia. And of course, at the beginning, we don't know where to start and how to do the preliminary work and financial issue, troubleshooting about the work, and minor and major mistake. There are a lot of things that affect your focus, that cause your working unable to stand properly to your destiny. And at the end of your journey, there are like hope, where that is your correct direction. And my supervisor, I believe, she, or actually they, light up my path for a correct direction toward my destination. And of course, on top of them, there are other supporting members who are my backbone. They are my lecturers, seniors, teammates, friends, and institutional staff. So of course, you in your own pathway, you are in your own direction. So you must able to control your journey so that you able to arrive at whatever destination you want to go. So this is my story. And my postgraduate timeline, I've explained just now. I registered my master in September 2018, and DRP ethics purchasing order for in December 2018, and I started my lab in February 2019, and I have only 2 months to submit my first conference abstracts at that time, because in order for you to do conversion, you must meet certain requirement, and not only for attending conference but other requirement. For example, PhD proposal, master reports like mini thesis, conference at that time, 2 conferences, and you must finish most of your master works. So I haven't actually I don't have a lot of time at that time. So I just submit my first data to my first conference. I remember in UCSI, Ceras, ICMBB. So after that, I just continue my lab work and submit my, no, I plan for my master report and do my PhD proposal. There are a lot of discussion, a lot of background planning, and a lot of meeting, and submit my second and other conferences. And in September, because of it reaching 12 months, I submit my master PhD report, PhD proposal, and conference list, and submit my first paper. And the day before conversion presentation, I visit Korea for Congress at that time in October 2019. The day before, and I came back, I think at 8 p.m. and tomorrow I have the presentation for conversion at 8 a.m. and I came on 7:30 a.m. So it's very tiring at that time. And after all, I officially became PhD student in March 2020, and I extend my lab work. The lab work is still progress, and thesis writing I started in April. This is the full-blown thesis writing. Means I really focus for my thesis writing. So I only have 6 months to finish my lab work in order to finish my thesis writing, because if your lab work is late, then you cannot proceed with proper or full-blown writing. So I have to really, I would say it's a hectic period, and I have to rush. And I finished my PhD work around 6 or 7 months after that, approximately. And my full-blown thesis writing is only for 1.5 years. It's very, difficult time, because you remember at that time is where the pandemic hit our world, and we have to cope with other, disturbances or circumstances. We have to able to handle our emotions, psychology, and we have to get the motivation in order to continue writing. And after around 1 year plus, I submit my letter of intention in June 2021. Yeah, and then I submit my thesis after 3 months in 16 September 2021. And then after 3 months, after 2 months plus, actually 2 months plus, I attended my viva in 1st December. So and then I got my result, and I have received a 6 months period for correction, and I submit earlier to receive my Senate letter. This is only like 2+ months to receive my Senate letter. So this is my journey. Everybody has their own journey. But I wanted to share some of the, tips what I have done to actually plan properly for all of this, like how it is be in a correct direction. So okay, so this is a road to GOT. So I want to share my 10 secrets to GOT, and this is, of course, based on what I have gone through from September 2018 until March 2020. So, number one, we have to set our goal, because this is where you bring yourself into that particular direction or destiny. Because if you don't have plan, or you just say you follow the flow, you may not attain that particular motivation that you must able to have. So your goal can direct wherever you want to go. So you must have your own goal. So like for myself, I want to share, of course, the main goal is to get the education and values. But the other things that actually brings you further is actually the output of my uh, postgraduate program, which are the manuscripts, conference abstracts, innovation seminars. This is actually the things that you have to write in your CV. So this output, you can bring some more value in your CV to actually move you further. You get what I mean? So of course, other than that, for career purposes, because the postgraduate study is a platform to build your base to, you know, move further your research, or whether you want to go in industry, you still bring your, you know, your strong base from your uh, program. And of course, you want to build connection in conferences. You know, you have you build connection from another institution for meetings, seminars, and all that. So this brings a lot of benefit actually. And you have, you know, other goals, such as you want to finish it on time, because you know, you may look your friends actually already have their own families, and they have their own dream car and all that. This will, you know, somehow demotivated you. So this actually will bring you some spirit to move you or to wake you up. And you may have um, specific or other goal that you really want to achieve, that differs from one person to another. So you must set your goal in order to have some sort of encouragement and motivation, so that your pathway, you can make it well done. But for me, this question is very famous and very questionable, because a lot of people query, PG question for better jobs, is it? Or is it PG question for better salary? And this belongs to, you know, your own um, like your own stand. You know, if let's say you have your own because you already have your own direction where you want to go. If this pathway will, you know, benefit you better, you go. If that pathway benefit you better, you go. If this pathway will, you know, enhance your, you know, personality, your or your, what we call as hobbies, will you just follow that. Don't take serious about what other people say about this PG or PhD or master will cause you overqualification during job application. And I have already bought my house and you don't have, and you still study. And that particular thing, of course, with a proper and plan, with a proper goal, you may forget what are the bad thoughts around you. So this is must in your mind set your goal. And second things is that you must have your own what we call as role model or mentors and build good relationship with them, because you have to have a proper references. You always refer them to ask about what you don't know, because you don't know what you don't know. Okay, and you always refer them for maybe for some career or whatnot. And this is actually your strongest support, your backbone actually, and your source of motivation, because you look at your supervisors, they have their own position, and you want to be like them, and of course your research or your area is similar like them, so you can always refer to them. You will be the clone of your SV because his or her research expertise. So even your publication will have their names. So you are sharing your expertise with them. So that's why I said have a good relationship with them and always refer to them, because they help you a lot in direct or indirect way, even for connection. And this is your strong social support system. A strong support system is one of the things that you have to have for to bring up your motivation. And this cycle will continue even after you entering your career. You will be keep in touch with your supervisor for further, maybe for deepen your research or widen your research area. So please, you can have a good relationship with them. And the time and the most important thing is that for time management, I remember my first I learned from my SV. Actually, my co-SV at that time have a Viva session with my senior, and we have planned to meet at that Viva session in, I think, at 8 a.m. in the morning. So, but the Viva session is at 8:30. So I rushed to the PG office to attend. To meet my co-SV because session with my senior. But I want to make a short meeting before the Viva session started. So I actually came. I think I'm the one because the UiTM, because I think because I think I'm the one who earlier than my co-SV, because but actually my co-supervisor at that time arrived earlier than me. I thought 8 o'clock and 8 o'clock 3 minutes. I thought that was earlier enough, but my co-supervisor arrived earlier at that time, and that was my first lesson. And she's staring at me, and but of course she's very positive, and I learned a lot from her and of course my other supervisor. So in this perspective, if you want to complete it on time, you master your PhD, target to complete it before time, and pretend that you are always late. Always remember this. Again, I repeat, if you want to complete it on time, target to complete it before time, and pretend that you are always late. Because as I have shown in my previous slide, my timeline, you know, I submit my abstract after 2 months of my laboratory works, and I thought that was early, but things happen so quick. I just submit my PhD conversion form just on time, not earlier, like few weeks before, like a few days before. It's already late, you know. We planned earlier, but it's already late because we never expect other issues, other problem that we never think. And that was the secret. I was expected to submit my thesis earlier. Actually, I planned with my supervisor to submit around 2 months plus because I see my works is progressing well, but actually things happen so fast and unexpectedly, and I just submit my thesis in 2 years, 11 months, and 28 days. Actually, it's 3 years, not like 2 years as planned. So, and even there are some underlying process, there are LOI, thesis submission, viva session, and of course, Senate letter. And that Senate letter determine your GOT, graduate on time. That is your target, not thesis submission. So, my point is that if you want to GOT, please drag at least 6 months earlier in your timeline, in your own plan, so that you can finish what you plan. So even it's good if you can target everything to finish 1 year earlier, so that you can drag whatever unexpected things happens in the middle. So it is very, very important for you to able to manage your time properly. And tips number 4 is that this is quite sensitive, but it is the truth. Don't talk, just do it. Don't talk, just do it. Because, okay, we know sometimes in research or whatever PhD journey, sometimes the problem occur in the middle. We don't know, we don't expect. And this can make you stuck. For example, I give you an example. After your DRP, you want to start your research or your data collection, actually. So this can make you stuck where you want to start and where to begin and how to actually begin the work. And of course, you are afraid how to solve any problem if the problem arise during your work, because you just experience it for the first time, and you cannot have too many complaints and put blame on others, put blame on machine, and this will not progress your work at all. This is my very frank speaking, please don't put blame on other things or other people around you. Please plan well and don't put too much, responses to others, but just do it. But of course, number one, before you do, you need to have some proper discussion and find the correct people to discuss and to have a what we call as enough or sufficient material, so that you be confident to start and just do it. This is most important things. Fight your fears, win the challenge, like Nike. Just do it. And practice makes you perfect. If you're afraid to start, you don't know or you don't experience your work. Okay. And I remember my actually my colleague, I don't know whether she is here, but she is okay. She remind me back after 1.5 years. Zul, thank you for your tips. You remind me, just do it. You remind me that, because at that time she was very scared to start. Oh, she's very worried with her supervisor, because she has left the research for like 10 years, and now she continue or pursues her study. And she was very afraid at that time, and she asked me, so how you manage your motivation? I look you be in the lab in the morning, and how you keep motivate yourself. So I said, don't have so many talk, just do it. Because if you more talking, you will more worries and more bad perceptions towards yourself, and more weaken your confidence level. So don't afraid to start. But of course, before that, you must have a proper plan before you start. Okay? Don't put too much responses. And then next tips. Find the greatest motivation. Of course, different people have their own greatest motivation. They may have their role model, and they may have their own way to keep motivated whenever you feel down. And how I keep going with my journey is that my parents and family, I have to make them proud and I have to make them happy. This is my greatest motivation. Of course, this my family will make I wake up and move forward. Without them, I may not have motivation like during my PhD, and I may not fly high. And other things that I can share right now is the UiTM holding ceremony and UiTM convocation ceremony. You may feel, why UiTM holding ceremony? Why UiTM convocation ceremony? Because this is my motivation actually. I was imagining my supervisor when my put the ropes on me and wear the burger cap on me, and I was imagining I standing up in the stage for receiving my PhD scroll. And I always watching these videos whenever I feel demotivated. So this will make me up for, if let's say at night you feel demotivated to continue your writing, you just watch this video and you will feel some more energy that will, make you energetic to do more writings. So yeah, if you want to follow, this is my tips. So you may have some greater motivator. So you can stick with that and keep going. And six, you can aim higher, because if you aim higher, then you expect you could reach higher than your dreams. So similar like the timing. If you plan earlier, then you finish earlier than you expect. And you can aim higher. You can publish a lot. You can aim for the GOT awards and other awards, so that you can get what you want actually. Okay, so this is very, very important. And number seven, keep in track and update to your supervisors, because this is important for you to really keep updating. Like, this is my timetable for a week. On Tuesday, I have regular one-to-one meeting with my SV and submit logbook, because I have like a daily report to my SV. So my supervisor will sign my logbook for my progress, because she wants to see my progress. So, and on Friday, I have departmental meeting actually with my research group, where all the SVs and my team members is there to update and present. Even you don't have update, you have to present some theoretical knowledge. For example, you are doing protein expression study. If you don't have progress, then you present something beneficial about protein expression. Just a big title, and you present some theoretical. Maybe you want to share about type of protein and all that, and any types. Even for diseases, you can share some pathophysiology, and I have other session with my SV and other regular theoretical updates, such as continuous medical education at my faculty. So keep update with your supervisors, and she or he can know where you are at wrong or right track, and they can help you. So this is my daily routine: animal works, lab works in the evening, and writing at night. And try not to ask your supervisor, "Doctor, what time you available?" Instead, you can ask or try negotiate, "Doctor, can we meet at 2 p.m. today in a good and proper manner?" This is my own style, because your supervisor also don't know, maybe he or she have urgent meeting or whatnot. So you can just try to nego. "Doctor, can we meet today? Doctor, can we meet today?" That I have shared to my juniors and my teammates. So this is the tip. But the important things is that keep tracks with your supervisors and co-supervisors and co-supervisors, because they will guide you wherever you are lost. And when there are things that you don't know that they are wrong, so they will correct you. in a quick way, not like, okay, you meeting with your supervisor once in a month. So you will notice your mistakes 1 month further, but everything has already, performed, but you will found the mistake later. That's why I said have a regular meeting with your supervisor, so they will keep track on you. And logbook is one of the good things that I can share. I did my logbook for daily routine. This is for supervisor to know where you are. Okay. Okay, I move to my 8 tips. Reference and guideline, of course, this is, but I want to highlight, this is very important where you are lost your track, where you lost your tracks, and SV is the most important platform to refer. Go SV institutional staff, maybe you can refer to science officer, research officer, because they may provide, very big help for you. Even your seniors, they learn more than you at that particular time, because they are very senior than you. And your colleague, sometimes your colleague know something else that you don't know. Okay. And for academic matter, you can refer to, always refer or communicate with the program coordinator or PG office or IPSis. This is very important because anything mistake, you cannot, revert your time if you did some mistakes. And most important, before you refer somebody, you must have knowledge and put some effort, okay, before asking. Sorry. So for this Institute of Graduate Study, IPSis academic rules and regulation, it's very important for you to, to refer to their regulation. Even upon registration, after registration, you have your DRP, your returning semester, and your viva, even your thesis. All the guidelines are there. I'm not sure this the latest or the right rules and regulations. I think this the latest. So please refer, because this is very important. Even the awards is there. The awards requirement is there. So be alert. And number 9 is challenge your capabilities. Try to involve seminars, conference, innovation, as many as possible. Why? Why try to involve in seminars, conference, innovation as many as possible? Because they are more doable than papers and book publication. Attending conference is easier than paper publication that took around 12 months, even years, for some journal. So even for book publication, this must have a, proper planning to have a book or book chapter publication and gain some input and outputs. So my aim was to win the best oral presenter in a conference, but I failed to achieve it for first few conferences. I think I got my best oral speaker for my second year. I'm not getting whatever awards best oral presenter during my first year. So I said to myself, I will never stop presenting in conference until I won some. Okay. Because you look at your seniors, oh, he or she was the best speaker, she was the best oral presenter. Oh, I want to get some. And finally, I got the award after multiple trials. So practice make perfect, and never lose hope. And practice make you better. Postgraduate study is not a journey to compete with others, actually, but it is actually a journey to compete with yourself, within yourself. You have to fight your comfort zone, fight with your own comfortness to move you, to get something better during your journey. And last but not least, be good to others. Contribute to others and deliver your kindness. When you are up and flying, lend your heart to others, to your friend, your colleagues. When you are down and beaten, ask for help for whoever you trusted. And everyone needs a helping hand at some point. So by this, I actually have shared my friends, my colleagues and I have shared 41 tips for masters and PhD students. There are two parts. This inspired by book 73 question. You can watch the video. They are more than 10. Of course, is a lot of sharing by multiple point of views. So you can search Farah M. You can take a picture this channel to see my colleagues and I shared some, to bring you some motivation. And then actually I have some tips before, during, and after Viva for make successful Viva and reduce the timing. So I just going through because I have other things to, to share. I just go through. You can enhance your understanding, make a proper planning, make a proper reading, because the examiners have may ask you simple question, the basic question that you never came across in your mind, and you must be very detailed in very simple things, and make a list of question answer and highlight important points, and prepare for a good oral presentation. Of course, you must have a more than 50. I myself have more than 50 full flow and formal presentation until you feel like you want to vomit. And practice make perfect, of course. Practice with your SVs, research group, colleagues, and different audience from different institution, even different background from, different field from you, and, have a adequate timing for this preparation. Don't be too last minute. Even you can prepare your Viva slide earlier before notice of intention. And avoid, this is very familiar tips you can practice. If you want these slides, you can email me. I will give my email at the end of my slide. And expectation, you can know your potential examiner come from which field, because of course you can expect whether they are from a natural product background, from behavioral study background. You can expect that. So have a proper plan, because you may expect some question from the people from that particular background. Okay, and to check format and guidelines, of course, and refer to your PG and mental preparation. Of course, what I want to share is share your accomplishment, your publication records, and because this will make you, this will boost your confidence and energy during your Viva session. So, and during your Viva session, you can practice this. This is a very basic practices, and your appearance, formal attire, look fresh and attractive, cheerful and energetic, and your mindset ready to answer any questions. And do not overconfident, especially the things that you don't know. And all the tips here, sorry, if you have a proper, good Viva session, you will reduce your timing to GOT, because Viva is not the benchmark for GOT. is actually a standard letter. So good viva session will lead to faster standard letter. So, and again, post viva session, you will reward, you must reward yourself and get outside and enjoy foods, your coffees. Okay. And this I want to highlight here because this is very important. Letter of viva result, you know the timing, internal examiner report. Please acknowledge all the comments, external examiner report and international examiner report, and don't forget the section B from minute taker, because you must answer the question from the minute taker as well, because the question you have to, because some of the things may be skipped during the report, or during the report you may skip, but actually the examiners ask, but it is not in the reports, the examiner's report. So this is very important to refer back what they ask. Okay, you may forget what they asked during the session, and of course ask proper person and correction, of course, to avoid any delay during. So you must have a clear planning on this. So please avoid any delay. Okay. And for formatting, allocate at least 3 months, at least, okay, 3 months for formatting only, because you will have trouble in references, especially, and the spacing and all that. You will face that problem, and you cannot finish that in 1 or 2 weeks. Trust me, you cannot allocate for formatting for 1 or 2 weeks. Please allocate 2 to 3 months at least. Okay, so you have a mindset that you will drag you, that you have to drag your time earlier than you expect. So this is some allocation, important allocation for your um uh, uh, thesis formatting, for thesis writing and thesis formatting after the viva. Before and after is very important. And digital thesis submission, this is during my time, you can refer this letter. And sharing my achievement, I've full paper publication, 7 full paper publication during my journey, and 1 book chapter. Some of them are Q1. I think for them are Q1, and 2 Scopus, 1 mindset. Okay. And then these are the a screenshot from my publication. I hope this will motivate you somehow, give you some, different point of view of, because if you publish more, this will give you more confidence during the viva session. And abstract publication is actually good, because some reputable conference, reputed conference, you can submit for abstract publication, and they will provide in supplement. So this will certain this will somehow will provide something to your CV. Okay. So, and I have around 30 abstract conference in conference books. So these are the list. So I have mentioned earlier my first conference in April 2019, and I failed to be the best oral speaker for a few 6 or 7, nothing more. I think 10 or 12 trials. So I don't feel demotivated for that. I keep trying to be to achieve something, because of course you want to achieve something. You want to have something in your master or PhD output, and some copyright. My team and I did what we call as funders camera holder. Okay, this is for capture the background, the back part of your eye, which called as retina. Okay, so this one of my innovation, and we did some also new behavioral platform and other innovation. And some of the awards, I have few best oral presentation and travel grant and medal for innovation. And of course your seminars, some of the certificates I have shared during my progress meeting. Some of you might familiar with these slides, and this one during my conferences. Actually, I came for conference most of the time. I go alone, and the conferences that I attend is not like most of the time my supervisor has actually come from my initiative with approval from my SV and co-SV. And of course, there are some process, check the abstracts and redo it again and submit back the abstracts with my supervisor and do the poster and recheck the poster, do the slide and check again and multiple checking of the slides. Then you get one of the conference list. And my backbone, my supervisors, Dr. Nurul Alima from Pharmacology Department, UiTM, my professors from IMU, Bukit Jalil, previously from the same faculty, and Prof. Nafiza as well, previously now in UiTM Medicine. Dr. Nur Salma, she's specialist in pathology, and my seniors, my pharmacology team, especially Dr. Hafiza, and all, and the grants, and last but not least, the institute that I conducted. And in the midst of the darkness, light persists for a piece of victory. So sometimes issue raised unexpectedly, but just remember everyone has their own definition of success. Shine in your own way, okay? Don't compare yourself with others. So these are the final, my final journey. I got the GOT award and APC award because finishing PhD in minimum stipulated time, and AKCTC after interviewed by the panels of UiTM. And I wish you all the best and thank you for your attention. So feel free to contact me at mzsadikan@yahoo.com, and these are the photos with all my colleagues. This I will remember forever in my life. So, and for the tips that I have shared, I hope this will benefit all of you. For those who have just registered, for those who just returned, be a returning semester student, and for those who will face their Viva session soon. Okay, with that, I thank you. I pass back to the moderator, Madam Azlina.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zulfikar, for sharing your story. Indeed, there are no easy way to success, and so everyone, if you are on a bumpy road right now, I am sure that you are normal, and it is expected. And at whichever stage that you are now, I'm pretty sure that the 10 tips by Dr. Zulfikar will help you in some way. So I'm sure there are lots of questions for Dr. Zulfikar. Please post them in the Q&A chat box. We will attend to them after both sessions end. Now I am pleased to introduce our second speaker, Mr. Abdul Jalil bin Toha. He works at Ministry of Education Malaysia. Okay, I have to state his position in Malay because I'm afraid if I translated it, it will be different. He is a Ketua Penolong Pengarah at Unit Masalah Pembelajaran Sektor Pendidikan Khas, Bahagian Pembangunan Kurikulum. KPM. He holds a Sarjana Sains Pengurusan Maklumat from University Teknologi Mara, graduated in 2021 with multiple innovation awards as well as AKCTC award. So now you know what AKCTC means, right? So that is a big deal, everyone. After finishing his master's with flying colours, he has been an excellent worker in Ministry of Education, had received multiple awards as excellent workers. He is also actively involved in many CSR activities. And I am impressed with his CSR activities. He led an art program representing Shah Alam Special Vocational Education. He is also the illustrator of Nenek Sri Bukit Cahaya, collaborated with Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka. He collaborated with IIUM Faculty of Languages and Management in building illustrated children's book for special education innovation. He participated in innovation to build an artistic model of teaching and learning equipment for special education children with lecturers and doctoral students from Faculty of Creative Arts, UiTM. He is the standing committee members of Pusat Sumber Persatuan Pustakawan Malaysia, and he's also the writer and illustrator of Praise to Be Allah, collaborated with Malaysian Writers Association and Brigade Bakti Malaysia for a book donation project for Filipino Muslim community. So I'm sure he will have a very inspiring story for us. So with that, let's welcome Mr. Abdul Jalil to the virtual floor. Over to you, Mr. Abdul Jalil. Cik Jalil, are you there?
Saya. I try to share.
Okay, let's wait for Cik Jalil preparing his slides, and maybe he has some technical hiccups. Okay, kindly wait. Okay, while waiting, perhaps we can, do some stretching and get your coffee.
Buka tak boleh.
Okay, Miss Ezlina, why don't we carry on the Q&A first while waiting for Encik Jalil preparing for his slides? Okay, sure. All right. So, Dr. Zulfika, are you there on the line so that we can do some question and answer?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay. There's this question. Adakah Sir jadi RA at the same time semasa master or PhD study, or jadi RA then you focus on your study? So do you do it simultaneously, or do you became RA first and then you became a PhD, master PhD student?
Okay, that was a very good question. Actually, I started as RA first, research assistant, in somewhere around May, and then September I registered for my master, but the RA-ship is still continuing until November. Okay, and during the master study, I renew the contract as a graduate research assistant because we are registering student. Once we are registering student, we are entitled for the graduate research assistantship. Okay, and so I continued the contract until I receive my SNAT letter. Okay, so in the middle, I have a few other projects on top of my master and PhD work. So we have to keep balance. Your boss might assign you certain, you know, other works because you are GRA, you are RA. Okay, so you must be balanced and you must be ready for that if you want to be RA. Okay, because I know some of the students, some of the master or PhD students are not RA. So yeah, I think that's my answer. Okay.
Okay, so I think that's clear enough for an answer. Okay, another question from the floor. Throughout Dr. Zul's journey, which was the most difficult time that Dr. Zul had experienced prior defense research proposal or after?
Okay, actually, I think I can share two difficult time. Actually, before DRP. Before DRP, because we don't know most of the thing, we have to, learn a lot of something that very new. Okay, because this is research. Research is something new. Research is something that is not something that you already knew. Okay, and you must be able to divide your time at that time before DRP for DRP slide, DRP proposal, the file itself, the study design, okay, and you have to keep practice, and at the same time you have to prepare for your lab. You have to purchase laboratory material for my case. Maybe for your case, whatever data collection, you must be ready for some material, at the same time you have to be, simultaneously do everything. Okay, and for another part of my journey that was very difficult is um, during uh, during during at the point where you are doing thesis writing and then you are doing lab work. You have to be balanced at that time. So that was very difficult. So you must be very keep your minds very motivated. You have to be mentally prepared for that. So yeah, so I think that was my answer.
Okay, so that's very impressive.
Jalil is ready now, Azlina.
Okay, all right. So Encik Abdul Jalil is ready on the line. Can we pass over the floor to Mr. Abdul Jalil now? Okay, over to you.
Boleh nampak?
Boleh.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good morning. I'm Abdul Jalil bin Toha alias Tohara. Now I'm work in Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia. And this is the secret to GOT, learn from the best, from my opinion and my point of view. Okay, my research is exploring digital literacy skills, motivates and deterrence among students with learning disabilities using the gamification learning approach. And then this is a master by research, and I'm from Faculty of Information Management. My supervisors is Associate Professor Dr. Shamila Muhammad Shuhidan and Dr. Farah Diana Saiful Bahri. Now, thank you to UITM and IPSis for inviting me to IPSis webinar series, Secret to GOT, Learn from the Best. Thank you, Dr. Mazwana and TS Azlina Muhammad Anwar. And I hope this sharing will benefit UITM students and students who are join this webinar. Okay, this is the timeline. This timeline is such as a normal view of a student in UITM for PhD and master by research. So start with registration, DRP, and then we have to do research and Viva, pre-Viva or mock Viva, thesis submit, and then Senate and convocation. This is the normal view, and this kind of view is everybody will face during the research and study in UITM. Okay, thanks to special thanks to Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia, especially for bahagian kerajaan Education Sponsorship Division, EPRD, which is bahagian perancangan dan penyelidikan dasar pendidikan, Special Education Division, whereas I have applied for education research, and then the Education Technology Resource Division, and the last one is Vocational Special Education Secondary School, which is I make a research for this special school and in Selangor. Okay, this is my timeline, the basic timeline from 2019 until 2021. Start from the research area proposal, which is I choose a topic, and then the literature review from September 2019 until 2021 on March, and then the research methodology. I have to plan what is the research methodology, because this research is about special education, and there is the only one school in Malaysia which is involved in desktop publishing course for special education, especially for learning disabilities. And then start design the pilot, observation, and prelim studies, and then from February until July. This is the toughest time, which is during pandemic COVID-19. I have to make approval from EPRD, and then make another approval from EPRD, because the validation of research is about 6 months. I tried to apply the approval from November until March, and then followed another approval start from March, start from April to July, and then the problem begin because the pandemic COVID-19. The school is closed, and then I have to reschedule the research progress and try to change my research question, all about interview, and but there is a time school open for three weeks until 1 month. That is the ample time to me to come and visit, to make observation and observation checklist, and try to see the progress of digital competition that involve with students with learning disabilities, and then data analysis, and the writing thesis is all the time from 2019 to 2021, and submit thesis by right is about February or March 2021. Okay. Okay, this is the research about student assessing okay, exploring digital literacy skill motivate special needs student using gamification approach. Okay, this is my digital literacy skill model for special needs students. Teachers characteristic and special needs student using the digital literacy skill, which is ethic, technology, and cognitive. And then this area learning makes a learning motivation from internal factors and external factors. So exciting, familiarity, experience, confidence, and knowledge is about internal factors, and learning motivation, external factors is emotion, support, guidance, reward. Okay, this is the school where I'm doing the research. It's Sekolah Menengah Pendidikan Khas Vocational in Malaysia, which is in Selangor. And then they are special needs students with learning disabilities who are in the desktop publishing course and focusing on technologies and digital literacy. There is 16 special needs students and using Tapi Hero Challenge, which is provided by MDEC and Ministry of Education. Okay. The secret of my GOT is follow the rules and regulation of faculties. We have to attend the seminars, follow the timeline, fees, and be patient all the time, because sometimes we have to face a problem. We don't know even the problem is come today, tomorrow, or in the future. And then beside that, we have to be, I like to leisure because I need rest, arts, music, documentaries, food, families, friends, and but then you don't forget your supervisor, okay? Okay, another one is deal with postgraduate management related to timeline and study related condition. Okay, my registration with UITM IM 750 is on the 10th September of 2019, and then I received my Senate letter at 7 September 2021. This is the gap ataupun the bezanya ialah 3 hari atau 3 days. If I don't get the Senate letter within three days, so I didn't get the GOT atau graduating on time. But Alhamdulillah, I got the Senate letter at the 7th September. So it's makes me happy, and this is the way that I can catch up the GOT. Okay. I can share with you guys about the progress. First is intention to submit. I submit the intention to submit is 15th of February 2022, and then the full thesis is 15th of May 2021. And then I have to wait for the examiners for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, and then start Viva at 12th July 2022. And I make a correction and formatting within 2 or 3 weeks, then submit on late of 20th of July 2021, and then after that the Senate letter received on 7 September 2021. Okay. Beside that, we have to, this is my supervisors, Professor Madya, Dr. Shamila Muhammad Shuidan, and the other one is co-supervisor is Dr. Faradiana Saiful Bahri. And then we have to discuss with supervisor frequent, face-to-face, internet, WhatsApp, Telegram apps, email, Google Meet, etc. Because that time is during pandemic COVID-19. So I have no ideas to catch up, and because the supervisors they are very committed, so we set for Google Meet every week, and then WhatsApp is almost 2 or 3 days, and face to face it cannot be because PKP, and this is the tough way to get a good research in the pandemic COVID-19. Okay, another one is publishing papers and innovation competition. Please make some do something for certificates and then publish papers, because the scopus or international publication is a requirement before we make a viva. So this is my innovation competition. I got bronze medal for VIC 2020, and then gold medal at the International Putra Innovation Creative Poster Competition. And then present for Global Research Conference, Grace. All of this is within the pandemic COVID-19. Okay, this is the corporate social responsibility, which is I try to share my experience in book publication with UIA students and UIA lecturers to guide them and make them a workshop for penulisan kreatif or creative writing. I hope this help and benefit them to make to publish their own books or make doodles or be an illustrator. Okay, for the writings and art, this is my anthology puisi or poem Diam Yang Lantang. This is the one that anthology included puisi and prosa, which is a poem and write-up. Okay. When I'm doing research and writing, sometimes I need a break. I need something aesthetic. So this is my artwork during the research 2019 until 2021. So you can see the abstract. So because I love abstract very much, and it makes me delightful and makes me happy within. Sometimes we stress with the writing research and Mandalay and other apps. So this is the way I release my stress. Okay, this is the Halil by me, which when I'm waiting for the Senate letter, because the person who in charge is Dr. Halilah. So I make the name Halil because Dr. Halilah binti Halil. So at that time, I try to make something abstract to make me happy and waiting the date of receive Senate letter. Okay. All right. This one is sold. Okay, this is my activities during the gap when I'm doing research. Praise to Allah. Another books, children book, literacy digital, and terima kasih cikgu. And this is my friends from UIA and Mobile Book Cafe who helps me to publish and release the book and apply the PNM ISBN number. Okay, this is one of the book which is a support my thesis is literacy digital dunia baru. This is the poem refer to gamification. And then the Tapi Hero doodles is related to the Tapi Hero DCS competition applied by students with learning disabilities when they are doing the competition, and I do the research within this Tapi Hero DCS program. Terima kasih cikgu. The book is about the poem about thank you to teachers, friends, kampung, and all about students with learning disabilities. So the author is me and Professor Madya Dr. Shamila, and the illustrator is all by me, Aling Tohara. Okay, another one is pray, responsibility, and sharing knowledge, etc. So this is the way that before and after the research, because sometimes we need a break, we need to release the tension, we need something something to share with friends, lecturers, because the lecturers become our friends. The graduate studies members is also our friends. So the program we are involved is important before and after we are doing research. Okay, this is the publication and awards. Innovation and Education Competition, article publication, presented paper, collaboration as a guest speaker, and book publication. Okay, for your information, I started teaching in 1997. And then after 3 years, I continue my degree in UITM 2001 until 2004. And after that, posting for teaching, reposting for teaching, 2004 until 2018. And within that time, I don't have experience about research, studies, or anything. And then 2019, after fourth time applying study for scholarship and study leave, I start study again and make a research and doing master by research 2019 until 2021 and got GOT and APC, and then 2022 I got ASCTC. Okay, from my experience is I have to facing and accept the difficulties in observation and interviews, the data collection, the rejection of papers, article publication, and during pandemic COVID-19, it's not easy to make a research alone, but the supervisors, main supervisors and co-supervisors is helpful and still continuing with online session. That is the important think we need to collaborate with supervisors, university, faculties, and friends and family, and be a good researcher and make them happy. Okay. Another way is please advise to read and download the academic rules and regulation, follow and refer, download from IPSis because it's helpful, and everything about rules and regulation is there. So be prepared. Be prepared when you are start study, and make a research progress report every single semester. But the tips, another tips is I have the logbook or progress report with every single time I meet the supervisor. Even though online, I have to make a checklist and submit to UITM for research progress report every semester, and to Ministry of Education. So the prayer, responsibility, and sharing knowledge is a good way and a must for every researcher. Hello?
Yes, Cik Jalil. Okay. Have you done, or you want to carry some more?
Yeah, I've done.
Okay, so Ezlina, back to you.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jalil. Okay, I'm sure that we are all very inspired with the way of how you solve your challenges during the pandemic.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, I think Mr. Jalil and Dr. Zulfikar has very two different niche of studies, whereby we can see that Dr. Zulfikar is very much on publications and innovations and doing lab works, whereas Mr. Jalil is more on social research. He's so active with his CSR even during his studies. So I think it's benefited people, students from all ranges of studies. Okay, so we are going to go for a question and answer session. So I hope both our speakers ready to answer a question. We still have questions for Dr. Zulfikar that hasn't been answered yet. So allow me to read some of the questions for Dr. Zulfikar, and perhaps one or two questions for Mr. Abdul Jalil, okay? Okay, Dr. Zul, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we have this question from Karen. Dr. Zul put all time in his PhD, very impressive. And can I know some tips for publishing?
Yeah, okay. Thank you for your question. Okay, for publication, of course, the publication came from your research output, okay? And some of them may be the review paper, okay? And I will not touch on the content of the publication because there are some basic tips for that. But I want to share about the how to tackle with the submission and acceptance. Okay, for submission, you have to choose the right journal where the keyword is important. What I did was, or what I'm doing now still, is actually to search the past article by the journal. If you, let's say, that targeted journal you want to submit at that particular journal. So you search the past article, the keyword that you have in your topic. For example, myself, my topic vitamin E. You search vitamin E. Is there any vitamin E in the records? Okay, because my point of view is that the journal will difficult for the journal to accept the new scope, the new area, because they already stick with their even for one big field, example, medicine, biomedicine, accountancy, they are subdivided into a lot of subfield. So you have to be aware your keyword is matched to that particular subfield or what. Don't just submit, okay, my field is biomedicine. Okay, just submit to the biomedicine journal. No, you have to be very detailed on that. Search the past articles so that easier for the editors to proceed with the next stages. So I think and another important key point I want to share is that the don't be so disappointed if they are rejection. So please try again for another journal after the rejection. And even I want to share, I submitted to Q1, Q3. There are some rejection, few times rejection for Q2 and Q3, but I didn't change anything. I just submit to another Q1 journal, and it is accepted without any correction. It is just accepted without any correction. That is very unexpected things happen. So don't be lose hope for any kind of rejection. I even have tried for 10 submission for one manuscript, 10 submission, 15 submission, and rejected. But at the end, it is accepted. So just try and keep trying. And yeah, I think that's my tip for that. Yeah.
Okay, so persistent is the key. Okay, thank you, Dr. Zul. Okay, so maybe one question that for Mr. Abdul Jalil, there's one of participant who asked about experience during AK CTC interview session. So since both of you have gone into those sessions, maybe Mr. Abdul Jalil would like to share his experience during the interview session.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum and Selamat Sejahtera. So during the interview session, first is must get ready with your things, with your proof, with your bahan-bahan or something you can carry on, like say books. This is my experience. I brought my books, I brought my paintings also, and then we have to be prepared with your appearance, your shirts, your shoes. Even though this is the simple session, but you must wear black shoes. Maybe dark coat and simple white shirt. And then we have to be smile every time, even though we are in a stress mode. Be patient and smile always, and the good result is there. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, perhaps Dr. Zulfikar, how about your experience?
Okay. Yeah, it is a very short session actually. I think less than 15 minutes for my session, and there are 5 candidates for AKCTC and 5 candidates for ASCTC. And yeah, there are panel of professors who are different from your background or field or research expertise. So you need you must be able to explain the simple. I mean, using the using a easy to understand, because you know you don't need to mention a specific chemical name or whatnot. The things that they asked it was background. The background means your current occupation, and then the PhD outputs, the publication, whether you publish anything, and the conferences, the whatever awards they ask, and then of course the PhD work. I think these are very basic things that they want to know. They actually want to you. They want you to share uh, your your story during your master or PhD. Yeah. So you just share if they are ada rezeki ada, insyaallah.
Okay, so balik pada rezeki lah kan.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question, okay, from the floor. Any advice for part-time PhD student since he or she are easily deviated or distracted from the PhD path? So perhaps a piece of advice from Dr. Zul and then Mr. Jalil.
I think this question belongs to Mr. Abdul Jalil because he is working at the same time during his master. Is it? I think you are muted,
Mr. Jalil, you're muted. Okay.
Oh.
Alamak, tak dengar.
Tak dengar. We cannot hear you, Cik Jalil. Okay, you are muted again. Can you please on your mic again?
Okay.
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 Boleh.
Boleh dengar tak?
Alright, boleh dengar.
During that time, I'm full-time study for 2 years, but I'm finished for 1 year, and then another 1 year is for finishing write-up and viva correction and CSR. Because if 2 years, we have to finish in 1.5 years. And then another balance of 1 semester or 2 semester is for preparation. Same as Dr. Zul, he finished at maybe earlier than the time. Graduate before time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any piece of advice for part-time students because they are working at the same time and then have to, manage their studies? Any tips or any advice you can give to them?
Okay, the tips is we have to discuss with the supervisors, because the great supervisors will guide us as good as she or he can. Otherwise is doa and then be patient, because sometimes we release our tears. When we even I'm not in a medical research, but we are in the information management. Sometimes we search not on track, not the right reference. So we have to catch for me is special education. What is the suitable for special education in Malaysia? Because less of research in Malaysia, so we have to make a research. We have to browse within our Asia. And then Asia pun tak ada juga. Sometimes we have to go to UK or US or another country, developed country, or well country, and we have to search the suitable for special education, because memang less of research for special education. That's why I'm doing this research, and then if I continue my PhD, I will make a research about this, how digital literacy skill motivate special needs students using the bibliotherapy, because the book therapy is important now compared than gadget. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abdul Jalil. Okay, Mr. Abdul Jalil, okay, Dr. Zul, any input from you?
Okay. Actually, I wanted to share about my previous colleague. She was just graduated for medical degree, and she wanted to do master by research. But at the same time, she is waiting for the medical posting, the housemanship. But she made her supervisor to whether is it possible to finish it before her posting. So what happened was she discussed with her supervisor to to plan how to do it in a short time, in 1 year. So she finished her master in 1 year, and she directly entered the medical posting, the HO, um, right after that, and of course this is writing, and I think she was graduate on time. So the communication is there. If you have the difficulty, and please reveal your hardness to your supervisor, because the supervisor won't know whatever your condition right now. So please share if you have any problem. Please share regular meetings. Yeah. Please communicate well. This might help your journey to be easier. That was my tip. As this is for part-time, or even you have intention to finish it earlier or whatnot. Please communicate well. Yeah. That was the tip.
Okay. All right. So I think that answers the next question on supervisors' relationship. Because the next question they ask about managing relationship with supervisors, because most SPs are very busy, sometimes difficult to approach and not very responsive. So communication is key lah. I try to.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I can add some more on the communication. It's good. Of course, for formal communication, you must even you are in rush, so please be professional. So if let's say it is a formal things, you can email your supervisors. Or if it is urgent, on the urgent matter, you can you do a phone call or WhatsApp. If let's say it is regarding to your work, it's better for you to clarify one-to-one. So meeting, a face-to-face meeting, because that is where you want to update. Like myself, I have shared at least 2 to 3 times a week to meet your supervisor. That's my share tips.
Okay, so 2 to 3 times a week. Okay. Okay. Now, we have another question on students' greatest nemesis are lack of money and time. Okay, probably the main reason why some people fail to JOT or worse, dropping out. Do you have any suggestion on how to get adequate funding without sacrificing our precious time? So, seeing that both our presenters excel in conferences, publications, innovations, presentations. So maybe some tips on how you manage your time, especially for those who have to, secure their own funding.
For me, what I know is that even in any institution, not only at UiTM, they are providing financial scheme. For example, UPTA, University Postgraduate Teaching Assistant. For those receiving grant, of course, most of the researchers have a grant, whether internal or external. They might have some allocation for the incentive. And other things is that the I think the annual allocation for GIP, grant intensive pendidikan. Okay, you have to research about the financial assistance. UiTM provide a lot of financial aids for their students. Even I myself, I applied for UPTA for 2 times and I received for 2 times, 2 semesters. Before thesis writing, my thesis writing. So I get that fund. And then if you have capabilities to divide your time for to be a tutor outside of the institution, that was what we call as the norms in my place. The normal normal norms are in my place, where a lot of them go to the tuition center to be teacher or tutor. So you can opt for that, but of course your